Again?
Burial framework A. Everyone ready? Sorry, this just scares me. The burial within this round is a prerequisite to anything that can be discussed or argued. As we continue this burial, we must acknowledge the significance behind this. We are burying the norms that are continually enforced upon us within the debating the resolution. Dismantling the structures of norms is vital because norms are what props up violence against individuals and preclude individuals from having effective discussions. We refuse to have to advocate for protection policies. We refuse to pretend to be the saviors. We refuse to allow the structure to continue that pushes anyone different than the norm to the side. Every individual faces different norms based on their systematic position due to the resolution. This means that each person has their own personal biography, which means that we must choose to emphasize self-definition in order to free oneself from what society expects from each person. Self-definition requires the putting to death of enforced norms such as the act performance. We need to reorient ourselves from the position of being an object to a subject. This reorientation occurs through the process of the burial as we recognize the norms that exist and we bury them and replace ourselves into a place where we can choose how we want to live within our own spaces. That is why instead of pretending to be the masculine government, we support the idea that non-traditional debate should be valued. That is why burial has to happen before anything else. And the burial stalls be prepared to sacrifice your ballots between the best rejected and enforced resolution on North Bergen 12. The U.S. Women's Liberation Movement had its reign in the anti-woman movement, which to suppress marginalized women's voices and ideal women in the movement, contemplated the intersection of gender, peace, and war. Anti-war actions began the sense in which Norman notion of essential episode of femininity were submitted. It was futile and aimed to appeal to the political system that did not recognize one playing upon the traditional film roles in the closet. My head became as Westmount. There's more to feel as reactors rather than organized to change the definition of something out of the synonym for weakness, political opponents, and tears. The burial traditional woman has become iconic. Organization, invitation, out of the world norm of femininity, played in the tug of war, the invitation for prayer. Doesn't the traditional woman at best? They contained over flowers, you have sacrifice your traditional film roles, you have refused any way whatsoever to save the American mom, and playing resist your roles to support governments. People would have received your raffle time against worth of medal flowers. Now you must resist supporting Congress playing the same roles. Synonymous with powerless, whose meals not comes past the lines waiting for various power. The power operates only with power. We must learn to fight the war minds on vouchers. Will they believe is capable of only willing managers until we live united on this, of course, to be reckoned with the patriots, religion, total love victims. So be realistic about anything before you join us tonight and in the future. The burial of feminist challenges norm of femininity, Lenin's connection to war, peace, and Charles Terran role and ideals for women, part of the power norm of femininity, and internal misogyny and inclination, way them identify massively with other women, recognize their valiant power, norming the ideals foster division most women, the way the division of abilities act collectively informed base of power, is power must nothing political, is best for feminine power, the necessity of the burial, the norm of femininity and American sales ability and act political power, the invocation of familial relationship to those who serve the war and the nature of the power. In fact, for the woman who uses women's social and political power, traditional woman much like a political power could be counted and later rests amongst the word. They say that ethical framework is bad, but this doesn't apply to the fact that we are burying the way that we currently construct the way that this space is structured. That is good for this round, as evident by the way that the resolution norms impact. If they can contextualize why the burial in itself is bad and have specific instances of why it is uniquely bad in terms of the evidence, then they can get access to it. But they never do that within this card. They're rushing in to evidence also talking about rape and violence is mapped onto the bodies. We recognize how everyone has their own burial and how everyone has their own norms that they need to face and to bury. We don't think that we are universalized and totalized an experience, but instead we said that this is a methodology that people can access and begin to use for themselves that has they deem necessary in order to counteract the structures that are currently playing and forced upon them under the framework flow. You can cross-apply the Bergen evidence here, which demands for topical advocacy, i.e. true all enforcement norm and notion of femininity, specifically the idea of the peacekeeping feminine example. This was the brigade who were protesting against the Vietnam War, but their position in a way that characterized them as selfless, peace-loving, motherly individuals, and from the position they cannot gain any political respect because the political system is masculine and does not recognize the feminized body. Second is that framework is a problematic norm because their interim forces everyone to cohere to a specific idea of what debate should look like. That is violent because it reinforces the idea that we must perform traditional roles and any deviation from that is bad. Third, education, they stifle creativity and intellectual innovation by forcing everyone to practice the same normative style, allowing each individual to choose how to participate, encourages better creativity skills, force barriers to have interactions that are based on subjects rather than objectifying habits. And fourth is fairness. After better stands for fairness because allows everyone to choose their own expression and fair to force everyone to perform in the same way. Cross-apply the 1AC analysis about the base phase and the status quo isn't fair to everyone until we do the after standards of fairness will be enforced disproportionately with short than the actual fairness. That means staff for pre-work tolerance standards. 5, counter-interpret this debate should be about the prior question about whether or not the resolution is a good starting point for the space, accepting the negative interpretation, develops alternative scholarship, and endorsing the natural partial review. They essentialize and reduce New York into a few generic submission. This is going to be safe responses. We choose not to abide by these guidelines, and that obviously means that everything we said had no person current ways of thinking, at least these leads to just continue to submit to the system and never actually doing anything, because every time we submit to the system that means we are just giving into it and our views are continuing to be invaluable. This is Benson 3. The term master is associated with masculine representation of the man who says the head of the household or a male teacher. Knowledge is socially situated in order to interpret and understand the situation of a particular group of people, though as a start from the West standpoint, feminism epistemology urges us to ground knowledge on the particular experience of the people who want to understand and reject the master's view because the partial and disoriented drawing from a vision of reality takes into account only the reality of the dominant class and tends to normalize the experience of the master's generic experience. I'll start with the position provides the vision versus the master's view. I'll start within his more likely challenge knowledge of the claims of the entire to accept the master's tool could be self-destructive because it requires us to adopt theories and methods. The tools that historically exclude women or devalue them. This implication is that the thing is contingent on compliance with the rules of The negative method of displacing our ethics into political institution allows us to shirk our responsibility for ethical actions and prevents us from becoming truly ethical subjects. Jupiter 2K. As an ethical subject, I cannot say sorry. I know what is unpleasant, but I couldn't help it. The moral law imposes that I can be as unconditional duty. The subject is fully responsible for what he first does to do. The topic is where I use my duty as an excuse for my actions is reversed. The subject contributes to the other circle's enjoyment. The rest from an action. I'm sorry if my actions hurt you. I only did what the other wanted me to do. So go and talk to it if you have any objections. And ethical self only can occur when free framework destroys any sense of freedom. We must embrace abstract perspectives instead of siding with comfortable ones. Jupiter 2K. Doing what everyone wants, even for common sense rationality, since then has been since this may involve harming others, it makes no sense to say what we do, whatever we want, and thus are free only because it's impossible to prove that we are in fact free. And our wanting that no empirical representation really affects our will. Canadian ethics is essentially an ethics of alienation that forces us to reject it, which is most truly ours. Things to submit ourselves to an abstract brain, take neither love nor sympathy into account. Judgment is that the current way the debate is framed doesn't actually analyze the arguments that are being made, but rather if the arguments are being presented or pleasing the judge, i.e. the debater is not pleasant, the debater is too aggressive, the debater wants arguments that judge alike. It's all about pleasing another individual, and this forces endless cycles of trying to satisfy everyone without ever cheating anything, because then it comes down to what the judge wants to hear, not the method of education producing around was beneficial. There are other ways to engage within space. Their mindset leads to an exclusion of other forms of education, and in the world there is more than just policy that can be learned. The way that we judge MWU, this was on framework, right? Yep. Yeah, the taking of the first card that they read on framework is problematic because claiming that this is more real world completely ignores the fact that this is the real world for us, and many people in the community, the framework is less real world because it ignores structural issues people face. Their Baudrillard evidence doesn't apply to us. We take energy out of the system by performing the burial. Their education claim the BIFO 11 card contradicts with their framework interpretation. A topical plan would also link their interpretation doesn't solve the impacts they identified. Yeah, okay, on to the K then. The critique analyzes power structures as divorced from social relations, the play political communist general analysis is incapable of accounting for material oppression and racial discrimination. The critique is a totalizing theory that hides material reality, power, and its concrete effects, and this turns the thesis of the argument as best 91. Human suffering is erased from Baudrillard's semiological universe from which abstractly describes certain insights, spectacles abstracted from material underpinnings of Baudrillard's imaginary, abstract from social relations, political economy, in order to perceive the play of the signs. Racial oppression difference is a deeper feature of contemporary use of society, which Baudrillard abstracts as serious fragile value. Baudrillard's composition are profoundly superficial and characteristic. This is a sloppy generalization, extreme abstraction, semiological idealism, and oft-repeated banalities. Baudrillard thus contradicting himself, denying that reality exists any longer in an area of simulation, hyperreality, and that constantly applies to the real conditions of things today. Baudrillard represents pluralistic thought at its worst, and despite critiques of representational thought, which is confident that describing reality as it is, Baudrillard focuses music asides as insight into the very heart of the thing. Term do both. There is no mutual exclusivity. The all can't solve the app. There are intersection of oppressions. There are intersection of oppression that simply. Yeah, there are intersections of oppression that just analyzing the ghost cannot actually explain. For instance, the reasons why the structures currently within this round are prevalent and what that does for debaters within this space. We need to address those. They can also the sequencing argument about answering whether or not the resolution is a good starting place or not. If we win that the resolution is a bad starting place, that's good enough. And app is a good starting point. They don't have a reason why the app is uniquely bad. They have to win the link that the 1EC performance uniquely make things worse. All of their links are to the status quo and not to the performance of a burial of oppressive structure. And there is no link where an intersectional analysis the way that the resolution affects different people in different ways. Proves we're not single issue focused and fiat bad. They need to explain why the reading of the alternative in this round does within this space. In order for them to win all solvency, they have to win fiat good, or they have to be able to explain how the all can solve without fiat. Their argument is also ghosts, that ghosts are haunting us. We never say that ghosts are real. We're just saying that the burial of the norms is a thing that we can actually do within this round and achieve change through. They say that we attempt to banish the ghost. We never attempted to banish the ghost. We never denied the existence of ghosts. We merely just performed a burial that recognizes the current norms that we see. If there are more ghosts out there, then we can address that. But we have to first do the burial before we analyze it, because that is what the debate space right now is currently centered over, whether or not about the resolution. And so we need to change that perspective in order before we can go on and direct other before we can change other structures. Yeah, their alternative is just direct our ethics to the other and listen to the ghosts. We are directing our ethics to the other, which is right now the feminized bodies that are in the space that are constantly pushed out to the side. Those are the other in this space, and we are directing how the space currently views those people, and we're working to change that. Anything, Mo?
Yeah, on this folder asking us to displace our ethics to the ghosts, the other folder asking us to displace our ethics to the state.
Yeah, sure. On this folder asking us to displace our ethics to the ghosts in order to surrender them, but the other folder asking us to displace it to the state. We don't actually know where we should put our ethics, but we do know, according to us, that we should put our ethics on ourselves and be able to determine what the burial should do for each individual within the round. Okay, ready for 6.
Okay, so I guess I'll go ahead and get through the ghosts. Okay, so when you say that we have to do the burial first, why do we have to do the burial first?
Yeah, sure. Because right now the way that the current structures are oriented say that the resolution is the only thing deemed as valuable. So ghosts aren't deemed as valuable right now within the status quo. It's just the resolutional debate. Okay.
On to the 1AC. Let's see. Okay, on this like prerequisite argument, you say that we have to acknowledge like the significance behind this, but like how is burying the norms actually recognizing any kind of significance?
Yeah, sure. It's recognizing like the way that the resolution has continued to position individuals on the outside of it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. On your role of the ballad claim, why isn't this role of the ballad like? Why wouldn't this be conceived as like strictly like self-serving?
Yeah, sure. You can make a counter role of the ballot claim. We're just saying that the best education that can be produced in round is through this role of the ballot because we're trying to allow more inclusive forms of debate.
Right. Okay. Cool. Okay, on the framework debate. You say that, what kind of scholarship do you produce?
What do you mean?
Like you claim that you are producing some kind of education and scholarship. What is that scholarship that you produce?
Sure, we're a burial, so we're taking away the power from the resolution. That's our education, is that these systems no longer have power.
That is scholarship.
Scholarship is anything that occurs within round that has educational value. Right now, the burial is not deemed as educational.
If it's not deemed as educational, why is it scholarship?
Because that's what the norms tell us to think. We're saying that's bad, and we're saying, yes, this is a good form of scholarship.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. On one of your claims on the framework, where you say that like the ethical self can only occur when free, define free.
Yeah, free is like resolution locks you in. It's the source of unfreedom.
So just free from the resolution?
Yeah, free from what debate tells you you have to be.
Okay, what about the harms that things like ghosts or other ideologies like perpetuate onto our bodies?
What do you mean?
Like, scratch that, that's fine. Oh, that. Christian, any last more questions?
Can we just run the rest of cross prep? Okay, never mind. So what was your answer to this second case card?
The second case card?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's you say that we map things onto bodies, but that's our answer is like that we recognize that there are self-biographies that occur within the space, and like everyone has their own. So burial is just a way for them to engage within that.
I ran you prep.